Oh man, so Polestar have just agreed to a SPAC agreement with Gores Guggenheim. Some of you may know of Gores, Alec Gores, the multi-billionaire. He had the SPAC GHVI, which was Matterport. He's got various others, and this one, Gores Guggenheim, where he partners with Guggenheim Investors, who are a big investment bank. They've agreed a definitive agreement with electric car maker Polestar. So you can see it here. They've agreed that, and it values the company at $20 billion, the electrical vehicle company. Now, the ticker symbol is going to be GGPI. Okay, which is Gores Guggenheim, and the deal will provide Polestar with just over $1 billion worth of cash. So 800 million of that will be from the SPAC proceeds, and 250 million of that will be from PIPE investors, which are top tier institutional investors. Now let's take a look at what the car looks like. Let's see if we can see what the car is. It's a pretty nice car. I think we can agree that's a pretty nice car, and I've seen these around in the UK and Europe. You do see these cars about, and they're nice cars. There doesn't seem to be any talk of autonomy currently. They seem to be focused on two models. So they've got the Polestar 1, which is focused on creating. That's a hybrid model. That comes in at about 150k, right? So that's 150k hybrid. They've then got the Polestar 2. They're not messing around with their names here. Polestar 2 is their fully EV vehicle, right? That one comes in at 60k and it has 260 miles of range. They're rumored to launch two other models. They're working on an SUV and also the Precept, so the Polestar Precept, which will be the Model S competitor. So both of those are in prototype stage at the moment, so they're not quite ready. Now, how good a company is this? Are they actually delivering vehicles, or is this another Lucid? Where are we at? Because we saw that Lucid raised $25 billion. Their SPAC was worth $25 billion, and they've not delivered a single car to date. Now, and that was just about at the beginning of this year. They went through their SPAC process. Now, on the contrary, Polestar, to their credit, have actually delivered vehicles. They've delivered 10,000 vehicles globally last year. Is that a lot? Well, let's put this into perspective. NIO, I know it's a Chinese stock and a lot of people are not investing in it for various reasons. They delivered 8k vehicles in just July 2021. Okay, now Polestar say by 2025 we will deliver 290,000 vehicles. 290,000 vehicles per year by 2025. Tesla delivered 200k vehicles just in Q2. Okay, so you can see the levels to this game right here, and clearly Polestar have just started out. So NIO delivered 8k in just July, and they're valued at 60 billion. So 3 times what valuation Polestar have just received here, but they're delivering what they delivered in a whole year, they delivered in 1 month. Obviously, that's not the only thing that gives you value, but it's a good indicator as a first step. So what else do we have? So we know that they're building those models. They're expecting that. Now let's look at, let's see if we can show you some of their revenue. So you can see here, they're partnered with Volvo. So the beauty of that is they're hoping that they can get a whole bunch of operational efficiencies because they won't have to build any production line. So they're saying we can use Volvo and Geely. We can use the Geely's the other investor, Geely Holding, because this is Polestar was founded in 2017 by Volvo Group and Geely Holdings, a Chinese company, and they're also backed by investor Leonardo DiCaprio. Not sure why they had to include that, but nonetheless, it appeals to people. So Leonardo DiCaprio is an investor. If you want to invest, there you go. If that's what you're basing your investment decisions on, clearly I've taught you nothing. Anyway, so founded in 2017, and they're saying, look, we can use Volvo's and Geely's production line. So any money we receive, we can focus on innovation and technology, so they're saying the billion that's come in, we don't need to go and build production lines because normally for a car company, $1 billion is nothing, right? So if anybody else is looking at that's $1 billion for Lucid, it's not enough to build out 3 or 4 models of cars, right? But for these guys, they're saying, look, we've got a parent company in Volvo, they're our backers, we're going to use their production line, we can just sink that $1 billion in just building the market, the marketing, and getting the technology right. And that's what they're focused on here, which is their range and the mileage, etc. Okay, so coming on to this, let's take a look at this. They've done just over in 645 million. So this is obviously in their currency, but they've done 645 million in revenue in 2020. Now, 2021, they're saying they're going to achieve just over 1.6 billion. So they're saying 1.6 billion in 2021 full year, and they say double that in 2022. So they're saying about 3.2 billion revenue in 2022. Okay, so we can believe them on the doubling because they did a double from 2022 now. So 600 million, they're at 1.6. That's more than a double. So they've done that, which is impressive from 2020 to 2021, despite the pandemic and chip shortages. So that's impressive. So that means at 20 billion, that means they're currently trading at 31 times their 2020 revenue. That's 12.5 times their 2021 revenue if they achieve 1.6 billion. And if they achieve 3.2 billion the year after, that's a 6 times 2020 revenue. So to give you an idea of how that compares, that's where they're trading at. Now, don't forget, Lucid are trading at about 24 billion, even though they aren't actually delivering cars. So that gives you an idea there. But obviously, they're not delivering cars anywhere near NIO and obviously nowhere near Tesla. But it gives you an idea. So definitely a SPAC I want to be keeping an eye on. They've clearly got a lot of potential. I know here in Europe and the UK, I'm in the UK, you see these cars knocking about. You see them about. So people are buying them. This was the evidence that NIO delivered 8,000 vehicles, which you know. Leonardo DiCaprio is backing this SPAC, which is interesting. So you can have a read up of that there. And yeah, I think it's definitely one that's going to be we keep an eye on. But you can see, I mean, this was interesting. The stock price, GGPI, if you search the ticker, it's up 5% today, but it's sitting at $10.49. Okay, the par price for a SPAC is $10. So this is barely moving. If this was this time at the beginning of the year and you listed a SPAC which bought an EV company, a la CCIV and Lucid, it went to the moon, right? If you look at that chart, when that got announced, even before it got announced, it mooned, right? SPACs were hot at the time, and now they're not hot at all. Everybody has seen through the summer that when risk is off, people rotate away from SPACs. SPACs have poor, and I'm invested in some SPACs. I'm invested in Lucid. I got burnt on that one as well. But poor performance of SPACs, and they're worried about the threat of regulation. We know Gary Gensler is trying to step up his regulation around SPACs because people are getting burnt. They're getting burnt with the lack of transparency around the warrants and the pipe investors, and people want clarity on this instead of getting burnt like in the CCIV instance where people were buying at $60 as the share price just rocketed after the definitive agreement. So you can see the market is far calmer on this one. Polestar, I think people are, and including myself, are going to be a lot more calmer and wait to see how this one plays out. I mean, it's a good EV company. There's a lot of EV players in the market. You've got XPeng, you've got NIO, you've got Li Auto, you've got Rivian, you've got Fisker, you've got, I mean, it's hot right now, right? And it's just, we need to find out who's going to take the lead in the market outside of Tesla, and who's going to actually start delivering significant number of vehicles and deliver profitability and good levels of revenue. So I'll be watching this space. Good to see another entrant into the SPAC market. Like I said, risk is off on SPAC, so you're not seeing everybody flock into this one. So maybe we can finally get some sensible pricing on these SPACs instead of chasing them in $30, $40, $50 like you were with CCIV. So thank you guys. There's an update on the SPAC agreement between Polestar, the electrical vehicle manufacturer, and Gores Guggenheim. So that's GGPI. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more videos like this, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.